Nobody should be deciding who is good enough or not good enough. I think the games and competition should decide itself who is good enough, who is not good enough.
Every year we had chance to play more and more. Like last year it was South Africa. Then this summer we are playing Italy. This November we are playing Wales again. So I think it's coming more, and there is more interest from the other teams too.
If you compare this to the old times, it's better. So we get more opportunities to play, but it feels like I don't know if I should say this, but it feels like we're getting these kind of opportunities because we've been talking about this so much, and now it's like, okay, you're gonna play 2 games and be quiet. That's enough. But in reality, if you want to improve, 2 or 3 games a year is nothing.
Usually we play just on the World Cups. Afterwards, we had like 1 game in summer, 1 game in autumn.
Our wishes are very clear. We need more playing time against the Tier 1 countries.
Yeah, I think everyone's aware of that fact right now that Georgia, if we need to improve as rugby, as country, we need to have that games, and I think we are having it more. So at the moment we can be happy, but it could be better to be maybe playing potentially something like Six Nations or anything like that. Yeah, Italy's been there since 20 years already, or 21 years. And despite they lost lots of games during that time, you can see their level. They have really good franchise who's playing Pro 14, Challenge Cups. So yeah, the level is pretty high still. So yeah, we are just hoping to be there one day, or maybe get an opportunity and try to prove something. REC, it's a good competition actually. It's growing every year, and we could see this year it's been a bit tough for us. But yeah, if it could be anything better, yeah, we wouldn't say no.
He has to have, I don't think it must be 6 nations. It could be 8 nations or 7 nations or something. They could work out something, 100% they can.
You must play against a stronger opposition to get stronger.
That's why every time when we will have just opportunity, we have to knock on a door and hey, hi, hello, we're here, we need more, we can more, and we will do that.
If the World Rugby heads want us, Georgia, not only Georgia, teams like us, Tier 2 nations, to improve, we have to have more regular games.
Rugby has to be more wide, and more countries has to opportunity to participate on this process.
Rugby is not only for 10 or even 20 countries. Every country who plays rugby should be interested, and we must be more open. We must drag all the other countries in to make them play, not opposite. That's the thing I don't understand. That's the thing what I don't like. It's like it's one circle which is closed, and then everybody else is staying outside of circle. And if this happens, rugby is never gonna get as big as the other sports are. So I don't understand that. I don't like that. There is only one tournament in rugby where anybody in the world has opportunity to participate. That's World Cup. Except that is that you are there, and you cannot go anywhere else. For example, in football, there is a Euro Championship every 2 years or 3 years, or I don't know. There is a Euro Championship. So if you win something, then you get a chance to play against bigger teams, or I don't know, Georgia could play against Spain or France, I mean in football. But in rugby it doesn't happen like that. So I don't like that. It must be more open. A few years ago that we knew that there was talks to create Georgian franchise, and then we were thinking that, okay, we're gonna create Georgian franchise, we're gonna play in the league, if we win that league, then we're gonna play in the Challenge Cup. If we win the Challenge Cup, maybe we'll play in the Champions Cup. But they just close that. You have no opportunity. You just have to play same teams. Doesn't matter if you win 100 times or 1,000 times, nothing changes. How unfair is that? That's very unfair. That's even funny. Now we're playing in Black Lion, We won our championship, we call Super Cup. It's the first time we played. But what happens next? Nothing. Next year you play the same. We don't get a chance to play Challenge Cup. Obviously we don't get a chance to play Champions Cup. How disappointing is that? You know, that saying, no one is too busy, it's all about priorities. So it's just that somebody can tell you like, nah, you know, the Pro 14, or I don't know, that's something. Challenge Cup is too many teams and we cannot afford to add any more team, and then they tell you no to you, and next year you see like some other teams. South Africa, obviously they're very good teams. They deserve to be there as well. But at some stage you deserve it as well. I'm not saying that don't put them in, but work out something else so everybody could participate. But don't tell me no and then drag somebody in because you think that I'm low level or you think that I'm not good enough.
We never had that. We never had that opportunity. We still fighting, you know. We still just watch our games. We need or less, and we will show us what we can do. And I absolutely believe in that situation which we had at Georgia and which bad times we had, you know, we still play the rugby. Everyone knows Mamuka Gorgodze, you know, Gorgodzilla. Do you have ideas where he was training firstly when he came with me, you know? He was training on the candles, you know, without electricity, without nothing, just running in the mud, and that's our reality. We can survive everywhere, but we need the oxygen. No, without the oxygen, no one can survive.
Nobody should be deciding who is good enough or not good enough. I think the games and competition should decide itself who is good enough, who is not good enough. If you let me to play against everybody and I lose, it's obvious that I'm not good enough, yeah? But if you won't let me to play against everybody, I'm talking about club level or international level, you cannot decide, you cannot tell me that. If people would say that to Argentina a few years ago, not few, like 10, 20 years ago, that you're not good enough, how would they grow? How would they become better? Would they do the same if they wouldn't have enough opportunities? Never, no way. So that's a very good example how countries are not so good, that people think not so good in rugby. How can they improve quickly, and how can they beat the best teams in the world with a huge history? So once again, every country should have enough opportunities to play this sport, and not other way.
I think firstly we have something in our genetic. Rugby is our game, definitely our game. Second, I think anyway, do we have a just opportunity to do something? It doesn't matter. We still training, still want to win. Our targets are always very high because our supporters, our people who are supporting us, you know, never will give us to relax, you know. We have our schedule, we have our targets, we have our wishes, and I think if we will have a more opportunity, Georgian rugby will grow up. I definitely believe that.
I think year by year we're getting more professional. Year by year, our team is getting more dynamic. So if you see and look and compare year by year, I think we are getting better with the handling stuff. Our tries are more interesting. It's not only like forced tries. I mean, mauls and scrums and stuff like that. We're starting to play pretty rugby as the World Rugby loves that much. Georgian fans, they love rugby, they love this sport, and we feel like Georgia is a nation, we feel that rugby is our sport, even though it hasn't been created in Georgia. We have the similar sport which calls Lelavurti, and it's so natural to us and it's so organic.
We can say that it's a number one sport in Georgia right now, and yeah, that maybe that 2 games we won in the World Cup that spread more information by the time, and there was more interest and more kids into it, and to see us winning maybe the RECs and some summer tests, November tests, a few games, not against the Tier 1 nations, but the rest of the games. Yeah, it brings lots of hope in the people, and that's why it's really meaningful for us as a team to represent our country, and just as simply as that, makes them happy, makes them hope for more.
Many like youngsters playing, children from the school age. When I was 8, 9 years old, there was like 20 years ago, there was 6 or 7 clubs for kids clubs in Tbilisi, 5, 6 clubs. Now it's more than 50, I think. So it talks about everything.
Well, it changed a lot, especially after the 2 victories in 2015 during the World Cup. Yeah, I think that was a major click for us and for our progress as country, as rugby country. And since that, the biggest thing I can see is the young generation, actually, because, for example, when I started rugby in my morning group, we were 4 or 5 kids. Right now, today, there are 100 or 200 kids in the same group. So that shows the quality we have in the youth.
Everything comes from the national team. If national team plays is good enough, then rugby is popular, and everything comes from down. And these youngsters then feed that, so it works on the same railway, or I don't know, like pyramid. Like that's on top. There is a national team, which inspires that kid. That kid goes to the training, and tries his best to get there. So it works on each other. So. My English sometimes poor, mate, sorry. I want to explain something and I'm starting to thinking on Georgian and then I can't translate, so I'm struggling. So